arms. And it's time to invest in the education and care of our children, because that's the kind of nation we are. That's the kind of people we are. In some ways, America is a big family. A family does not ignore the sickness or pain of any of its children. A family gives all its members help and love. That's the kind of families we have. And that's the kind of nation we want. And a good family plans for its children's future, and that means education. 8 years ago, no American student was deprived of a college education because of financial reasons. But now for many young Americans, these opportunities have been wiped out. Starting in 1989, that is going to change. We Democrats do not fear change. We welcome it, because change means hope. Change means life. Above all, change means opportunity. And no changes are more profound than those taking place in the Soviet Union. The world is fascinated with news from Moscow. General Secretary Gorbachev has made move after move that would have seemed unthinkable a decade ago. It's still too early to assess the permanence or sincerity of those changes. We must never forget that Mr. Gorbachev's actions are designed to help his own country, not ours. Certainly, the competition between our superpowers will remain, but it can become more peaceful and more constructive. And in that kind of competition, the United States of America has all the advantages. We have a free and creative system of government. We are strong economically. Our farmlands are highly productive. We espouse basic human freedoms and democracy. We are a religious people. We're on the cutting edge of technological and scientific progress. Our neighbors are our friends and not our slaves. Building on these foundations, our next president must regain America's world leadership as the acknowledged champion of peace, of arms control, of human rights, and of justice. The free world looks to us for leadership, but we cannot lead by using military force to impose our will on other people. We can best fight communism in Central America by joining with other democratic nations to make sure that the Sandinistas and the Contras carry out all the provisions of the Arias peace plan, and that the people of Central America have freedom from both oppression and war. We have other responsibilities far from home. Camp David is not just a weekend retreat. It's a symbol. Camp David is a symbol of the courage and determination of two great leaders, an Egyptian and an Israeli, to make peace. Arabs and Jews still cry out for peace, but without a strong and persistent involvement of the President of the United States, they will not have peace. Starting in 1989, that will change. It's time to renew our environmental commitments. The greenhouse effect, the destruction of the ozone layer, acid rain are no longer just theoretical possibilities. They are immediate threats to all of us. Beginning in 1989, a new Democratic president will work with other leaders on earth to ensure our children and to ensure us a decent planet on which to live. This nation deserves a foreign policy based on the values that unite us as Americans. A foreign policy that can win the support for a change of both political parties. The consequences of unilateral decisions made in the White House bring back to us vivid and unpleasant memories. U.S. Marines dying in Lebanon, harbors illegally mined, and Contras illegally armed, ransom paid to the Ayatollah in weapons, appeasement in the face of apartheid in South Africa. Starting in 1989, that is also going to change. Ours is the strongest nation on earth, but sometimes we forget what measures our strength. America is strong when we are for peace instead of belligerence. America is strong when we are the leading defender of human rights. America is strong when we reach out to the suffering. America is strong when we work with other nations to reduce nuclear arsenals and to curtail the world's horrendous trade in deadly weapons. America is strong when we protect the green planet that gives us life. My fellow Democrats, our party is best equipped to meet the challenge of change because we are the party of change. We are the party of diversity. Just look around this hall. You'll see all the beautiful variety that makes America strong and special and great. Because we are so inclusive, many of the conflicts of American life are fought and creatively resolved within our ranks. That is our strength, but it is also our danger. That is why, if I had to give you just one special message tonight, I would summarize it in a single word: unity. One more time. One more time so you won't forget. Unity. Let us go forth from this convention united behind our candidates and our ideals, and with our eyes on the prize. United, we Democrats will bring a great future to America. Our grandchildren and yours will be grateful. Thank you. God bless you. Good night. On to victory. Thank you.
Former President Jimmy Carter, taking his bow, soaking up the applause, and delivering his speech. Bruce Morton, Ann Richards had the job of delivering the evening's main address, the keynote address, and she hit some of the themes the Democrats want to hit during the campaign. Jimmy Carter hit some others. The main ones among them were what?
Well, the speech was supposed to be a look towards the future, but it's really hard to avoid the feeling, Dan, that this is personal rehabilitation for Jimmy Carter, who hated losing the presidency. He's now back to the point where they're talking about having him do some campaigning this fall. He said the other day, maybe in the South, I know I'm not a national hero just yet, but some of the awful weariness that people felt with him, I think, at the end of his term, the Iran hostage situation had gone on for so many months, some of that has dissipated, and he's more in favor than he was. This is his hometown. This is a nice crowd, primetime speech.
And the theme, the Democrats, from his viewpoint, the Democrats could manage the future better than George Bush and the Republicans. Bruce, thanks. Our CBS News coverage of tonight's Democratic National Convention, night one of the convention, will continue with Walter Cronkite after these messages.
You can see the dream of success in the eyes of people all across America. At Citicorp, we understand the dream. That's why, as Citicorp and Citibank, we've become America's largest financial services organization, already helping 1 in every 5 American families, with more home mortgages, more student loans, more MasterCard and Visa cards than any other company. We'd like you to get to know us better. Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
This isn't gonna make it, I just know it. A cereal today has gotta be different. It's gotta look like cookies or taste like tree branches. All you got here is the same old flakes. This is different. Simple, light. I'm surprised. I like this a lot. Well, you've got a big new hit on your hands, I just know it.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Corn Flakes? I knew it.
Taste them again for the first time.
Walter Cronkite is back with us now, and we're talking about conventions past and trying to put this one in some perspective to give you some framework into which to consider what's happened here tonight. Walter, as opening nights of conventions go, unity shows such as this by the Democrats have been fairly rare in recent times.
Well, very, very rare indeed. You and Bruce were talking a moment ago about some of the fights that have taken place, and those that have taken place on opening night. You were talking about Jackson's civility almost in his approach to these things, and this is an example. Tonight we went through the credentials report and the Rules Committee report with no fights. In the past, those have been real imbroglios, but there's an important thing about that one thing. The rules that were passed tonight, with no discussion at all, just whisked right through here so that with the blink of an eye, we all really missed it, are very important. Jackson took his fight on the rules to the Rules Committee, playing the game all the way, that way, and not bringing a minority report to the floor, and he got part of what he wanted. And one of the things he got will be very important in future elections, possibly as early as 1992. It means it's a one-man, one-vote rule, taking away the winner-take-all situation in several of the states of the Union, which will mean that an anti-establishment candidate that does not have the endorsement of the leaders of the party can win an entire state or congressional district across the board simply on popular vote alone. And on that basis, it makes it possible that an establishment candidate to come into that next convention a lot stronger than that has been possible for them to come in the past.
Good point, and there is some talk, not from the Reverend Jackson himself, some talk of Reverend Jackson establishing a political base coming to Washington, D.C., looking forward to the time that Washington, D.C. might take statehood and he could use that as a springboard pretty far in the future. But it's a good point. The rules change sort of sail through. Yeah. But we've seen conventions, and you've seen any number of conventions in which the very fight over rules or even credentials took up the whole opening night.
Absolutely, and very divisive, and left a bitter taste that went right through the convention and on into the campaign. Senator Teddy Kennedy in 1980, you mentioned it before. And even in that rather chaotic convention in 1972, when McGovern had to fight against a Credentials Committee report that would have given a large section of votes to Humphrey or a coalition of other candidates who'd won big votes in California. He fought for a winner-take-all in California, although really that was against his basic principles, it seemed, because he needed to hold on to that more than 150 delegates in order to be assured of control of that convention. So it takes a twist, depending on a man's particular interest at any given moment in the campaign as to whether they take a fight to the floor of the convention. Let me mention just one thing that might be even more significant than anything else tonight, if I may mention it. I thought when you had that excellent interview with Jesse Jackson that it sounded like the supreme orator of the Democratic Party is losing his voice. If that happens, we're going to have to find a whole nother bunch of things to talk about at this point.
I don't believe it. My experience with the Reverend Jesse Jackson goes back the way. His voice may wane a bit, but it doesn't break. Walter, it's good to have you with us. Look forward to the next few nights. Know how you love news and love politics, and we love having you, love being with you.
I'm a confirmed political junkie.
Aren't we all? And Walter, they're singing one of our favorite songs. Why don't we listen for just a second, although we know some of our local stations have their own business to take care of and may want to cut away, but I'd like to listen for just a second. I know you would.
This is CBS.